are off to a hot start here on the 4th and 1 podcast. I got to plug in my headphones because I've been doing a lot of gaming recently. What up? I am Captain Boring. I am your host today. This is the 4th and 1 podcast along CFB3 and AKA What is good, my dude? We are bringing you, I would say, a special edition of the 4th and 1 podcast. However, it's not very special because it'll be out our normal time. However, we're not really talking real college football in this episode unless if Simeon has some fun facts or something he wants to share. We are talking the college football video game. That is right. EA Sports College Football 25 came out Monday afternoon. I may have played it from 4:30 until 10 p.m. at night. And we are taking
for you regular people, that's like playing it from like 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning. Micaiah is an old man. Robert, turn down your mic before you scream at us. I know it's a little hot. I can hear it right now. Sorry. Continue on.
Well, okay. Well, you turn up your mic, first of all. Maybe you should do that.
My mic is at the level it is always at.
I don't know why it had to come so hot at me.
A little bit more. Just a little bit more up, not down. A little bit more up.
Oh, okay. Well, I was...
Nope, that's wrong way. Feather touch, my guy. Now I can hear your AC. Is there an in-between
turns it all the way off.
All the way off.
No, I just turned it a little bit.
Interesting. There's that. Those mics you guys have are like they have a very feather touch there. Robert, that's perfect. Just make sure you keep your mic.
They hot. And Simeon, this is not what we need to start the podcast. We are taking valuable time away from our playing time.
You guys, I dropped in 2 minutes late, like I always do, and you guys were talking about how much the game has glitched.
I said there was one. I've only ever had one so far. So.
Okay, so Makai's just bad that he threw 5 INTs at once?
No. I threw two. Two were my fault. Yeah.
3 were the imaginary player's fault.
3 were the imaginary player's fault.
Air quotes.
Yeah. Hey, listen. When balls are bouncing off of helmets and guys are just doing this.
Normally they bounce off your face, so that makes sense.
Give me a burn.
A what? A burn?
Yeah.
Give me a burn. I don't know.
It's in there.
Yeah, well, if they would be alphabetical, that would be much better.
Be. Most of them won't be.
There you go. Boom, there it was.
All right, it's a little late. All right, well, let's talk about this video game. So let's open it up. Simeon, you're just going to sit there because I kept telling you didn't have the right system.
Okay, stop it.
And then you told me you did, and I was like, no, you don't.
You don't get the high horse meat on
No,
this.
I do. I do.
You don't.
Yep.
Because I knew I might not have the right system when you're like, hey, this needs to run on Xbox Series X or S. Okay? So immediately get down off your high horse. Hold on. Okay? I'm like, okay, I need to check that. I need to power up the Xbox, whatever. I go to plug it in, i.e. Ethernet plug it in the other day, and I see back Xbox One S. Now re-get on your high horse because now you can be back on it. So I go, I have it, and then I call you, and then you go, no, it needs to be on the Series S, and now get back down off your high horse because it's Microsoft's fault at this point. So you don't get to be all up on your high horse.
How is it Microsoft? Because I told you, Xbox Series.
Poor naming.
Here
it really is.
Sony, Xbox, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Amen, brother.
Not that hard, guys.
Okay, but Microsoft is full of intelligent people, unlike Sony that has to.
So you're racist
to name it 1, 2 for people to be able to count on their hands.
So that we go Xbox 360 because it
was a whole new thing. It was a whole new thing,
and it died all the time.
Yeah, I got a Red Ring of Death a lot.
Yeah, it's like the worst system ever released.
Actually overheated and it desoldered itself from the desoldered components from the board. That's why it red ringed.
Oh. Well, that's a fun fact. Simeon's first fun fact of the day.
So what I do, I provide IT fun facts and chew gum into the microphone.
And not have the right system even after your brother told you didn't have the right system.
Listen, Linda, we'll get there, okay? You'll guys are going to be better. This is why I picked Clemson and not UTSA.
You have 2 weeks from tomorrow.
I get it. The paycheck hits the bank account tonight, and then we are golden, baby. GameStop, here we come. Little bit of little bit of Trump dance.
Yeah. Okay. A little bit of the worst Jeopardy celebration ever. All right. First impressions, Robert. Let's just go right into it. First impressions of the video game. What you got?
I mean, I can't say it's really exceeding expectations because the expectations were just extremely high for the game. But it is exactly the game I think that they needed to release, and it is the game that is killing Madden because it's literally everything that Madden isn't, and that's exactly what it needed to be.
You have started a dynasty with Michigan, but you've also, more importantly, started a dynasty with Navy. Yeah, how's that going?
It's going okay. The option system is kind of weird to get used to.
Okay,
but turns out I'm pretty good at it, which is nice. Bad part is Navy can't throw the ball, so. Yeah, when it's like 3rd and 10 and all I can do is run the ball, it's tough. So my recruiting is like solely heavy on like decent receivers and tackles.
Are you planning on staying at the school?
Yeah.
So you're pulling them out of the triple option is what I'm hearing.
No, I'm going to keep them in the triple option, but I'm going to have the wrinkle with the ability to throw the ball.
And here is something that, and as this is gameplay, everyone. This is from Bleacher Report on YouTube. This is the Red River rivalry. It's just,
what are the odds this is going to get taken? This is going to get taken down. I don't know. I don't care. I'm watching. I'm fascinated.
I don't think
for comedy bits.
It's from YouTube, right?
Who knows? That's not how that works.
Here's something that College Football 25 did do is they changed the option button, which I'm kind of mad at. You used to hold A to give it to the running back, and they switched it to where you hold A to have the quarterback keep it. So I'm all confused about 50% of the time. I go to give it to the running back and I hold
of the
A.
Time, you're confused 100%.
And then my quarterback's just standing there like an idiot like this.
50% of the time, Makai is confused 100% of the time.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm proud to say that. The graphics are on point. Yeah. Absolutely. The commentary, I sent a video to my mom of me playing the game for the first time, and she said it was like being at the actual game, listening to it on television. They did a very good job. EA did a very good job. It's funny when you take something seriously for longer than 6 months out of the year, Madden team, of how much you can actually do.
Well, okay, so that's also EA's fault. EA shouldn't be attempting to re-release a game every single year. It's just a gaming industry, and it's broken.
I agree. Me and Robert have talked about that. Robert, I think we've talked about that. Our kind of conspiracy, if you will, quote unquote, is that EA kind of went all in on 25 to be able to maybe just give updated rosters maybe next year, and then kind of just let it be for a year or two.
There's nothing that they necessarily need to change. And I kind of always thought that, if we're being honest, the graphics really aren't going to get any different between this year and next year.
Right.
Probably even the year after that. I mean, yeah, they come out with new graphics cards, but not so much for like PlayStations and Xboxes.
It's going to be like 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So why... you have your base game, and then, if every year you want to charge $15 for an updated roster, essentially it's like a season pass DLC, however you want to look at it, like that would make the most sense instead of going and trying to recreate this game over and over and over again and being like, well, this time we changed it to now the quarterback gets a specific vision. And it's like, that's just stuff like that is the stuff that you don't need in the game when it's already like it's good,
Well, next year they'll change the option buttons back. Everyone will get used to the option buttons, and then they'll change them back. Just some numbers to tell you how popular this game is. There's no way that this video game will win Video Game of the Year, right? Like, you think so? You think it'll be?
Because I mean, right now there's nothing. There hasn't been anything that's like really
popped off.
If anything, it'll be a PC game. If anything, like that. The games that are hot for like a month, and they just kill it with downloads and whatever, and then they're not relevant anymore. But they do so good that.
But sports video games are kind of like comedies at the Oscars. I feel like they're never going to win Best Picture.
No, try this again. Try it again. You were so close, Micaiah. I'm so proud of you. No, sports games are like the Transformer movies, and all the games that win awards are like A24 films. So that's more in and of itself.
That's exactly what I just said.
In this case, we're about to get dropped like Transformers, which insert your favorite Transformers here because you've seen them all and enjoyed them all.
You also need to slide to your right, Simeon, I think, because you're only... There you go.
It'll all come out in the edit. Not really.
It doesn't. No, it cuts off half your face in the edit.
Yeah, it normally doesn't. So, first of all, I got a couple trivia questions, fun facts here.
Okay.
For you both before you continue talking.
Let me hear them.
So John Madden, it was John Madden's football, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
NCAA college football. It wasn't originally, not until 98. It was just college football. Who was the coach attached to it in 94 and 95?
Welsh.
Bill Walsh.
Very nice. Besides not including mascots, this is going to be a little bit more open-ended. So not including mascots, what are the two positions that are cover athletes that are like out of the blue? So there's only, so let me rephrase that. Cornerback, wide receiver, running back. Those have been, perfect. Those have been the main cover athletes. There's only two cover athletes that play other positions other than those three. What position is it?
Defensive end / outside linebacker.
That was a Rakpo.
That's impressive. I didn't think you guys were going to get that one. Yeah, he was the 2010 PS2 cover athlete.
And then you're not counting a mascot, right?
Not counting mascots.
Okay, all right.
Would it have been the fullback from West Virginia?
Oh, Peyton Hillis? Not Peyton Hillis.
No. There was one from West Virginia.
I can't remember. There was for PSP because I had that one.
Yeah. I don't remember who it was, though. But
giant nerds. Owen Schmidt, PSP.
Owen Schmidt.
West Virginia 09. Just two little fun facts here for you, and then I'll let you guys keep going. Sparty was another. They had multiple different cover athletes that year. So Sparty was the Wii's cover athlete, one for each individual console. And in College Football USA 96, Tommy Trojan, 3 generic players, and the University of Wisconsin marching band.
Oh, there you go.
Cover athlete.
Okay. All right.
And that is
talking about that before.
Last one. I promise. I'm sorry. I
no, you're
should
good.
have saved this. Who has the most? What school has the most cover athletes? Michigan is in second with 3.
Then it's got to be Alabama with.
Michigan's in second with 3, or is it USC?
That's
is that counting this one?
That's counting this one.
Is it USC? Because they had
hold on.
Bush,
hold
Leinart.
On. Michigan has 4.
Michigan has to have 4 because
Michigan
it would have
has 4. I miscounted.
Right.
I'm sorry, and I counted Tommy Trojan as 1. So I gave you bad information. Who is in second with 3? 1, 2, 3.
Is it? It's still USC. It's got to be USC.
No,
Robert.
It is. I think it's Alabama.
So close yet so far. Micaiah, you are correct.
Let's go.
Mark Sanchez, 2010 PSP. Reggie Bush, 2007. Great year. That was a great game. Only, fun fact, only one without marching bands theme songs, 2007. Or is that 2006? One of the two. Doesn't matter. USC Carson Palmer 2004. Alabama has 2. Sean Alexander in 2001.
And Mark Ingram.
In 2012.
Yeah.
You may continue. I will fill in with fun facts.
Those are great fun facts. It was 06 Simeon that had original soundtracks that had music from the actual
Desmond Howard. I was off by a year.
For Desmond Howard. Another fun fact for you. The game made roughly $70 million the first day, and that's just based on the amount of people that access the video game. 500,000 people were online at one point that night. It is estimated that 700,000 total people were playing the video game, some offline, like myself. I had to go offline and start an offline dynasty because the servers were completely full. I couldn't even play online until yesterday afternoon. Now, however, I was at work for a majority of that time. Robert.
Yes.
So the video game's great, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Possible game of the year. Let's talk about some things we don't like about it right off
the
bat.
Kick meter.
The kick meter. Okay, so I have the kick meter as well. You struggle with kicking to begin with, even on
100%.
Madden.
It's horrible.
But anything over 50 is impossible. If it's a 52-yard field goal, I can't. If it's 4th and 12 and a 52-yard field goal, guess what I'm doing? Going for it.
So I love the concept that they came up with.
Yep.
My biggest thing is if you are not dead center, I almost need if you're on either hash because of college football being where the hashes are so wide.
Yeah.
You almost have to get a protractor out to try and figure out, because you could turn it to where it looks like you're going to kick that sucker right through. And you go and kick it, and you're hitting Timmy Johnson in the 4th row, section 202.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't figure this out. But then I also find myself like hitting like buttons too quick to where it's like now I'm just kicking like randomly everywhere. I look like Drew Aller trying to throw passes against Michigan.
I also found that the controller will vibrate, and once it's in the thing, it will stop vibrating. So that's kind of how you know when it's on point. But then the football is moving back and forth like this. If it's like a 50-yard field goal,
mine doesn't vibrate.
Oh, your controller doesn't vibrate? Oh. Oh, yeah, that's how I know that I'm in, because the controller will vibrate, and then once you line it up and put it in between the crossbars, it'll stop vibrating.
Oh.
Yeah. So check your batteries and make sure your vibrator controller features on.
They don't got batteries. PlayStation did it right with rechargeable.
There you go.
Haptic features. So are we getting rid of the kick meter in the Dynasty?
I don't think so. I mean,
can you?
I kind of overreact with it.
No, passing meter. People were wondering about the passing meter in the Dynasty.
Yeah. I think you can choose your own, can't you? So, like it doesn't matter.
I like the passing meter. Yeah, it doesn't matter about the passing meter. You can choose whatever you want in passing. Yeah. I think the only options you have in the kicking meter is to choose a press and hold feature or a tap twice feature. So you tap it once and then it'll fill up and you tap it again. Like, I only think those are the only two options. But yeah, the kicking meter is hard as hell. Another thing, Robert, is that I don't like are the recruiting assistance feature that 2014 that was one of the new features for the game. They don't have it in 25. And recruiting is so tedious in this game. There's so many levels to it. I hate it.
So I was when you flip the switch for like auto recruiting, I don't know how much it actually works, because like as doing mine with Michigan, obviously recruiting's way easier when your team is good.
Right.
And it's like even though you set it for auto, you still have to kind of go in and like choose some of your things. Like it'll go and it'll add like a player to your board, but like you still kind of have to go in and like say like DM the player or
you can
whatever
you don't have
do.
Well, what week are you in your Michigan dynasty?
1, 2, 5 or 6. 5. I just beat USC.
All right, so I'm in my Michigan dynasty. I just crushed Illinois. Illinois and then Minnesota. I just crushed each one of them, each one of those. And I have found that so I added a player to the board, right? And then scouted the player and waited to see what the computer would do with just one specific player. It'll just take some time. And the computer prioritizes players who are not first interest, but like fourth interest. They're and then it'll prioritize them over first. But you are correct. Like it'll still let you go in and kind of like auto do things, but then it will kind of do things weird. What I liked about 14 is you could say for this recruiting class, I want to focus on quarterbacks and I want this type of quarterback and I want this type of lineman and I want this many linemen. And with this game, you can't. It's either you turn on auto and it helps you or you turn it off and the recruiting is just tedious.
I guess it kind of makes it more like you have to focus on it, which I mean, I guess it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because it gets you more involved in the game. It's a bad thing because a lot of us just aren't that smart.
Well, that's
amen,
true.
Brother.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're giving me a pencil and telling me to make a triangle out of a straight pencil sometimes. I don't know if these guys want to come here. It looks like just a board with colors on it, and it looks like I'm first, but then there's another shade of blue that if I add something to it, I don't need to DM the player. I don't even need to do any of this. If they want to come here, they're going to come here. I'm going to take the Jim Harbaugh route.
Right.
But I mean, it's a good thing. I'm so conflicted on it because I do enjoy it, but in the same time, I'm like, it's kind of annoying.
It is, and I talked to you and I said I don't need the recruiting feature to be complicated, and they didn't really make it complicated, right? It might just be that, as you said, that we're just all really dumb, but they made it. I think tedious is the right word. I mean, you'll sit there and you'll just kind of go into every single one, and it's not like in 14 where you could just assign 500 points to whoever each week, and then that's great. That's who the computer would focus on. You got to go in and you got to scout the player, then you got to spend points to DM the player, then you got to pick a feature, but you can only spend up to 50 points per player. It's just, they could have made it a lot more user friendly and realized that people, like, have you ever ran into a user that is like, I do Dynasty because I love recruiting? Who loves recruiting?
Right.
I play the game to play the game.
I guess in the same sense, though,
I also enjoy recruiting.
We are being like super hypercritical.
Oh, for sure.
For a game that it's been 10 years, 11 years, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, chances are next year when they make this game again, that's going to be different.
I would have to imagine.
That's probably going to be a big point, like a big thing where they change things, they kind of take some things away, and you're going to have people who are like, oh, no, that was one of the best things, and it's like, you have two sides of the same coin. It's, we're just on the side where it's like, it's a little more than what we thought it would be, but, I mean, it's enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean,
we're nitpicking.
This game is just fantastic. It's just nitpicking. Okay, let's talk about something.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Write that down. Time for me to butt in. I
all
got
right,
stuff
go
I got to do.
It's all written down. I got it. I made notes.
All right, awesome. Love that. Okay, we got 2. I'm going to put your challenges. I thought this was going to be mean, but also it's fun because you guys have nailed my other cover athlete fun facts. For those of longtime listeners, also thank you. Like and subscribe down below. Thank you for those who listen. This podcast is currently brought to you by you guys, the listeners. 4th and 1 podcast, all spelled out, all one word, everywhere you get your podcast. Screw you, Cam Newton, who is not a cover athlete. Speaking of cover athletes,
probably would have been though.
Can you guys? I'll get you guys do this together. list all the single schools, so i.e. the cover athlete has only appeared for this school once, i.e. this school has appeared once as a cover athlete, can you list all of them?
That's only appeared once?
Correct. So Wisconsin has only appeared once as a cover athlete, quote unquote.
I'm going to say
marching band.
I'm going to say Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Arkansas.
Great.
How many are there?
Yeah, I couldn't quite count.
Oh, okay. All right. Great. Wonderful.
I think it's like 8. I'm gonna count now.
I think I have 2 more.
Who do you got? You got Florida?
Oh, yeah, Florida would have been Tebow. West Virginia. I think Texas only had Arakpo.
There are 12. Nope, I'm sorry, 13. Forgot 97. There's a hint for you.
Florida
Miami.
State.
Miami is not on the list.
Oh, damn. Wow.
Technically, Florida State and Tennessee, I think, because like NCAA 2000 or 2001, like it wasn't technically a cover
Winky.
athlete,
It
but
was
their
Chris
picture was on
Winky.
it.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Winky is one of them. Where'd he go? For Florida State. Tennessee is also not on the list. I will be nice.
Is Florida on the list?
Florida is on the list.
Is it
not
only
on
one?
this list.
Okay.
There are 2 cover athletes. Danny Woolworthel, quarterback
Werfel
at
and
Florida,
Tebow.
Yeah.
98, and Tebow.
Texas has 2, right? Young
Texas
made.
has 2.
Yeah, Young made one.
yeah.
No,
Vince
he
was
did
on
not.
it.
Vince
No.
Young didn't make one?
Colt.
Quinn Ewers and Ricky Williams.
Oh.
Colorado.
Colorado is one of them. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
The only other cornerback, putting that in air quotes, to be a cover athlete is
Traverse Hunter.
No,
Charles
it would
Woodson.
have been.
You
what did
meant
Dez
besides.
Travis
Besides.
Hunter.
Des-
Yeah. Okay. So Colorado, we got
Des was a wide
Colorado,
out.
we got
then,
Utah,
Woodson.
we got Florida. I mean, sorry, Florida State.
Yeah.
Okay. We got 10 more.
Oh my god.
Did you get Arkansas?
We got Arkansas. Sorry, we got nine
Nine more.
more.
LSU? Did LSU have a cover athlete?
LSU did not have a cover athlete.
Cal.
Cal did have a cover athlete.
Deshaun. Yeah.
PS2
Oregon.
release of the 09. Yep.
Oregon State.
Oregon State did not.
Did you get Oregon?
Hint. Oregon State did not.
Yeah, Rob just said Oregon. Marcus?
Oregon. Yes.
Yeah.
Joey Harrington,
Oh,
2003.
no, I was wrong. Oh, yeah. Marcus was up for it the same year in 2014 there. Stanford?
Ohio State didn't. Penn State didn't.
Stanford's not on the list. Here's a
Are
hint
you
for
ca-
you. They shared a cover. Both.
Oh, Baylor, and Oklahoma State. RG3
Did
and
you-
Barry Sanders.
You're not considering Sparty as
no,
one,
I'm
right?
not considering
Okay.
Sparty.
Okay. Boston College. Boston College
Boston
only had Matt
College.
Ryan.
Matt Ryan, PS3. We already brought him up once.
Oh, Vatek?
No. However, Michael Vick would
Pitt.
be a great cover athlete.
Yeah.
Pitt.
I saw highlights.
Oh, Pitt. Yeah.
Pitt.
Pitt.
Yeah.
There's one, and we already brought him up once in this. Only non-quarterback, cornerback, or wide receiver, running back.
Oh, the West Virginia.
Oh, the West Virginia guy. Yeah.
I
So
thought
who-
Pat White didn't make a cover.
Pat White did not make a cover.
Oh.
I will give you guys the last one. The last one is Tommy Frazier, College
Yeah,
Football USA
Nebraska.
97. Nebraska.
Okay. All right.
That one took a while, so I'll let you guys move on to your next
All right.
your next topic.
So just things I love about the game. The revamp passing. Robert, I don't know what you chose. I was a big fan of the placement and accuracy passing that Madden introduced. I thought that it was really good. I thought, really good at it. However, the revamp passing, I really, really enjoy how it's more directional than just your standard, and how the quarterback, based on ratings, will kind of take stuff off the throw to make sure that the throw gets put where it's supposed to be put. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good feature. It's interesting how it's not that great when it comes to the screen passes. If you just do a normal screen, it's like it almost takes too long because like your bar is filling up and then you're throwing it. But it's an interesting feature, especially if you throw it and your meter goes into the red, and it's like even though the ball's going to get to the receiver, he might not catch it because how it was thrown. Or
right.
So it's definitely a good feature, and that's not going to surprise me if that one is taken to Madden.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Have you used the new defensive switch stick yet?
I can honestly tell you I am not sure.
Okay.
Like, I'm not paying attention enough to when the play's going on to be like, oh, I'm going to like flip the half the time I'm just like hitting circle to get to the closest player. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I can't tell you if I've honestly like recognized it. I probably have and just not noticed.
Okay.
So,
so this is a feature, and I want to get away with things I don't like about the game, because listen, I love this game already, and I've had it for 2.5 days. So one thing I think they need to bring back, maybe at some point, I don't know if they could throw it in a patch because it would be so useful, is mass substitutions. Do you remember in 14, you could go in and hit substitute second team defense, substitute entire second team offense, defense, whatever.
A lot of people,
or even just like
that.
Yeah.
Players tired, hit Y, and you would be able to substitute that player.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing about the wear and tear system, right? So the wear and tear system isn't exactly messing with people as much as I think people thought it would. Like, because I'll even go in. So like Donovan Edwards, he carried the ball 25 times for like 280 yards and 4 touchdowns for me one game, right? And then towards the end of the game, or halfway through the third quarter, he was really beat up, right? Moderate injury. So I go in and I go, okay, I got a 17-point lead. I'm feeling good about it. I move him to third on my depth chart. Khalil Mammons first. And he still goes in. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. And I don't get it.
Thing.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I've put him at 4.
Yeah.
Even like below Cole Cabana.
Yeah.
And like Khalil Mullings will do like 2 plays, and then Edwards is right back out there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's
situational, because sometimes it'll be like a third down and then Don will come in. And I'm like, wait a minute, I took you out. Like, I don't want you in on a 3rd and 2 when I'm up 31 against Minnesota in a game that doesn't mean anything, you know?
Yeah. The good thing about the wear and tear system, though, is I think they said that there's because as the player, like, throughout the game doesn't necessarily get hurt. They can get hurt, but they have like the things that affect them. You can only get like -5 like per attribute or something like that. So it's not like, oh, he ran the ball 25 times. Now he's like -40 in the speed category. Like they did it right by capping it.
Right.
And making it still enjoyable.
Yeah. I wonder if there's like some setting that I'm missing, some coaching style setting that I'm missing. It's just kind of odd that they made a big deal in the pre-launch about how this new wear and tear system, and everyone was freaking out. And now so I go to take Donovan Edwards out, who's afflicted by this wear and tear system, and then he still like pops up into the thing. Defenses I have found to be very porous as well, especially through the air. Like, I find it, receivers will run wide open. Now, again, they try to make it realistic. I feel like most college defenses, unless if you got a special one, are going to be porous through the air with just how much the ball's thrown around. But I just feel like every single game, like at one point I'm playing Minnesota, who I know really can't throw the ball, and they're putting up 31 points. Now I put up 58, but I'm like, really? They put up 31 against the Michigan defense, against Will Johnson? I'm not thinking so.
Well, I know that their big point was if the person you're going up against has a higher overall, they are going to beat you because they were like playing that not everyone is the same. Like it's not like in Madden where if you have an 89 overall wide receiver and a 75 corner, that corner's still going to stick with him.
Right.
Where in Madden you can see like Will Johnson is all over people.
Yeah.
And every now and then there is like a lapse where something, whatever happens. But overall, he's pretty much on the receiver where, Michigan's third corner might not be as good, and he's going up against the running back who's a higher overall, and the running back beats him. And it's like, okay, you got me.
Right.
That makes sense. But yeah, it's passing defense is definitely tough. But the run defense is a lot easier.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they reach like a happy medium with it, but
and they knew that they were going to be like, they knew that the launch wasn't the final product. What I do want to show here, and just give a quick little break here before I make my last point about something that I really have enjoyed about the game, is I want to show everyone really old mascots and what mascots used to look like for certain teams. First and foremost, this is on ESPN College Football, their Instagram page. This is Purdue Pete. Not sure when this was, but this was Purdue Pete. That's terrifying, ladies and gentlemen.
He definitely looks racist.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 100%. He
doesn't look much better nowadays, but as all of the human mascots go, he's probably the best.
Was this a hat or hair, you think, right here?
I think it's supposed to be hair.
I want to say it's a hat.
It kind of reminds me of Minecraft, like the Minecraft characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lucky. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Nebraska corn cob man. That's terrifying.
That's going to haunt me in my nightmares.
Look at that. Also
look at what the cheerleaders are wearing. They look like newborn babies.
They look like nurses in a NICU. That's exactly what they look
gave
like.
Them hats.
Maybe it was cold.
Well, I mean, it probably was like 7 degrees out. It is Nebraska.
It is Nebraska.
Yeah.
What do we think of the old Cincinnati Bearcat?
I mean, that is the product of a B-rated horror movie.
Do you ever, if you're ever driving down the street, you know how sometimes people have accidentally thrown stuff out of windows?
Yeah.
And sometimes you see stuffed animals?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
it looks like a run-over stuffed animal.
Peep the $3 work gloves that they went down to the local convenience store at the time and bought.
It was probably an Ace, yeah.
That is just... the Cardinal.
Nope.
I love that you can see his eyes. That's the best part.
Nope.
Look.
Just no.
Okay. This Addy, the TCU.
Okay. Nope. I'm on board. 100% on board with that.
Look at that. That looks
like
terrifying. He looks like a dinosaur. He does.
Yeah. I go Pogo.
What the heck is
have
that?
To Google that.
All right, you Google that. Florida Albert the Gate.
That looks like people aren't gonna. For those who aren't from Lancaster County, do you know the Dutch Wonderland dragon?
Yes, that's exactly what
it looks like.
That's exactly what it looks. It also looks like you know what Puff the Magic Dragon. You know, that's what I think that mascot looks like. 100%. I don't know how many more might be the last one. Oh, and this was Nebraska Harry Husker. And again, peep how you can actually see the person right here.
That dude's got a trach tube.
That thing got to be heavy, though. Look how big that thing is. Wow. There's the Cyhawk right there, too. Again. And I just thought that everyone would enjoy that.
What was that, TCU that had the Igo Pogo?
Yeah. Addy, it doesn't even say the Horn Frog.
So, Igo Pogo,
wow.
It's a Super Frog campaign button. Yeah.
You got something?
Of a cartoon artist.
What?
No, I'm just asking Simeon if he's got something.
It just says that it has. I have nothing concrete about the Igo Pogo. There was a movie, TCU Port a Pogo comic strip. Yeah, it's about. There was a comic strip called Igo Pogo, and that's what it's referencing.
Okay. Fun fact of the day there. Many fun facts. Robert, the difference in between 2013-14 college football and 2024-2025 college football is the speed of the game, right? It has significantly increased. And I'm not talking about the actual players and why they have increased too in size and strength and speed.
Because they did speed and got faster.
I am more talking about the increase in offensive tempo. And what I have really enjoyed is they put a mode in there, and it's called turbo mode. Any team can use it. However, more teams are adapt to using it, like an Oklahoma, like a Tennessee, where you will go to the line and be able to snap the ball seriously in 2 seconds. And I just really enjoyed that attention to detail, where they really spent a lot of time in trying to make the offenses more accurate. Especially the wide splits with Tennessee and Oklahoma. If you get in the right formation with an RPO play, you can literally go zoop, zoop, zoop right down the field in about 45 seconds and score a touchdown. Have you used Turbo at all? Thoughts on Turbo?
Used it once. It's not made for Michigan.
It is not. No, I try. It's not.
But yeah, it's solely like team dependent. Teams that essentially you see run the hurry up a lot, like Oregon, as you said, Tennessee and Oklahoma. I mean, it's a cool feature because it speeds the game up more, and there are repercussions of doing turbo. So it's kind of like you'll have people who will just use turbo, and which that'll help them. But then in the same sense, like your players are getting tired faster. The wear and tear is a lot more. And so they at least made it to where you can use it as much as you want, but there's a repercussion if you use it too much.
Right. And I think that's real in college football, because you'll see teams like Oklahoma where they'll come out or Tennessee, they'll come out and you can tell their first couple drives of the game, they are coming out with their hair on fire and they just want to see if you can keep up. And then it kind of backs down, and then at the end of the game, close game, they want to put the game away, they pick it back up and they go. So again, just the attention to detail. And you're totally right, another attention to detail. You try to use turbo with Michigan, and all of their plays are not about using turbo, because a lot of their plays have motion. The tight ends coming in motion, the wide receivers coming in motion first. There's a fake jet sweep involved. There's all of this. It's not like Tennessee where it's a run or a quick throw out to the outside, right?
Right.
It's very team dependent. I would assume maybe a little turbo with an option team like Navy would be cool to throw in there from time and time again. But again, triple option, you want to make sure you're in the right play against the right defense.
So another fun fact for you guys. There have been 2 undrafted cover athletes. Yes, we're back to the cover athletes. Let's go.
Dude, you are just on fire with this trivia. I'm not going to lie. I'm enjoying this.
It's off the dome, okay? There are two of them. The only fun fact the only hint I will give you is that they're both, they're not, their school's geographical location is more up and middle. Think that area.
All right, well, we got to go with the fullback first from West Virginia. He's made an appearance. No, he got drafted?
He was drafted.
Okay, good for him. Up and middle. And obviously we're not counting Sparty, right?
And we're not counting Sparty. And to also be fair as well, we have mentioned both players already.
I hope so.
Well,
Up
possibly.
in
I think
middle,
I might have missed
so that's at least...
Robert, yeah, thank you. Bring that thing closer.
Hold on now. I'm coming. Here we go.
Pause.
So up in middle. Pause.
You said I'm coming. Pause.
Oh. Well, so kind of in the Midwest plus Northern. Wouldn't be Ohio, Indiana. Wouldn't be...
Owen Schmidt was drafted in the 5th round
by
the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, good for him.
He played 4 years, 2 with the Seahawks, 2 with the Eagles, and 1 with the Raiders.
And middle. So we're talking. I mean, all of the Michigan players have been drafted.
Right.
Yep. I'll give you another hint.
Okay.
Schools are also 1. They only show up once. Also, both games were before 2010. I'll be nice.
Okay. So, I mean, Larry Fitzgerald, he was drafted, obviously one of the greatest NFL receivers.
Bush was drafted.
Yeah, but that's not middle.
I know, I'm just saying.
Yeah. What teams have been in the middle?
So,
I'll be nice.
So Oklahoma,
Big Ten, and Mountain West.
Oh, that kid Johnson. Boise State's running back Johnson.
No, the quarterback.
Jared Zabrensky.
Was he a quarterback?
Undrafted. He was a quarterback. That was the one I missed. So technically there was 13 because Boise State was on the list. I forgot to mention them. So yes, he's one. I'll give it to you.
Wasn't anyone from Iowa. Not anyone from Minnesota. Not Illinois. Not...
Juice Williams isn't the answer, right? He never made a cover.
Is not the answer.
He was electric. He walked into the shoe and beat Ohio State. That's hard to do.
Was Tommy Frazier drafted?
Dude.
Tommy Frazier was not drafted.
Let's go, my dude.
Tommy Frazier played 1 year for the Montreal Alouettes.
That was big
after
back
going
then.
undrafted. He is currently he was the head coach. He coached for a little bit too. I don't know what he's doing now with his life. It looks like nothing. So yeah, he was a coach at Baylor, and then at Donay, he was the head coach for 2 years. Another fun fact about Jared Zabrensky is he remarked to Curb Herbstreit during the pregame for the Liberty Bowl, which he blew people out of the water at, famous hook and ladder and Statue of Liberty play, that he could throw a potato 100 yards. And in the 2007 and 2008, Herbstreit will sometimes say, that reminds me of the kid at the Liberty Bowl that told me he could throw a potato 80 yards. So there you go.
Well, with that fun fact, we will end it right here. Ladies and gentlemen, I really do hope you appreciated this episode of the 4th One Podcast. We'll be back next week, I'm sure, to talk about something. Until that, happy gaming, wash those hands, you filthy animal, and peace out.